When is it that you actually realized that Papa doesn't take you to movies? He owns the theatres.
I think very early on, there was a time where we would be the only ones in the cinema. And then I would just notice he'd just disappear. And I'd find him in the foyer looking at a light, you know, something on the ground, like this shouldn't be here.
Yeah, he was looking at everything but the film.
And then I realized we're really in the business of spaces and creating these spaces for entertainment.
So who bullies who? Are you the one who's bullied by both of them? Or do they still listen to you?
Absolutely privileged, the kids the way they are. That's my biggest wealth, I would say. It's all very constructive conversations about business that we have. There's no bullying or anything like that. The way she says dramedy.
Describe your family in one movie title.
Hum saath saath hai. No.
What would your biopic be called and which actor would you see yourself play?
Oh my God. Behind the scenes should be the biopic.
Title.
Yeah. Actor, I really don't know who's going
Come on.
I don't think there should be a biopic on me.
Niharika, any suggestions?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know, it's a very tough one.
It's very tough.
Yeah.
We're overthinkers, actually.
Yeah. That should be the name of the film.
For the first time on television, the top boss of India's largest multiplex chain, Ajay Bijli, shares the spotlight with the next generation of leaders at PVR Inox. In this unmissable conversation, the managing director sits down with his daughters, Niharika and Nayana Bijli, who are each shaping the company's future in their own way. Niharika driving strategy, brand innovation and creative growth, while Nayana leads licensing and acquisitions, curating content and crafting outreach strategies. So how was your journey like? I mean, if you really had to give in a paragraph and sell it to a screenwriter who perhaps wants to make a biopic, how would you describe what your journey has been through PVR?
Well, I honestly give a lot of credit to my dad and mom because obviously we had a trucking business and I was just somebody who was very keen to make sure that I don't let my parents down, that I'm not a spoiled Punjabi boy who went to modern school and then went to Hindu and didn't do anything but basketball honors because 2 years, because 2 years there were Duta strike over there, so all I did was play basketball. And so just the way they brought me up was that, theek hai, matlab, there was some expectation, no pressure, that I should, join the family business and be somebody who, does a good job of whatever I'm doing. No pressure, but I could tell that expectation was there. So I think that trucking business is something that I really struggled with for 2 years. 88 I finished college to 89. And mid 89, and then I came upon this family cinema where we used to go as kids and watch a lot of Mr. Bachchan's films, Parvarish, Herafe, no, Priya.
Okay, Priya.
Rivoli is where the office was, but Priya is where my father had picked up the cinema. So there I think somewhere, again movies, the kids are really into movies.
Yeah.
I was always into experience. So what used to bother me was always this incredible, larger than life, colorful, vibrant storytelling format of Indian films. You know, Mr. Bachchan, Rekha, colorful. Even Hollywood was, Clint Eastwood, Quo Vadis, movies like that, really colorful. But the environment where the movies were being shown, I thought there was a big mismatch.
Yeah.
The environment wasn't as exciting. So that used to bother me always, that why can't where we are watching something which is the world of make-believe, why can't the environment also be as vibrant? So then, because I was struggling in the trucking business, I said, can I do something to our family property? And so that's how it started. So father said, okay, fine, but ticket prices are controlled. You can't charge more than 14 rupees as the ticket price in Delhi, and cinemas are shutting down. But okay, if you want to give it a shot, give it a shot. But make sure you don't spend more than X amount of money. And I said, fine. And also I'd just got married and I'd gone to Orlando. And there, Selena and I for the first time saw a really colorful, vibrant cinema next to Disney World, which was like, it had fuchsia color, seats, and really colorful, and Disney type environment was there. So I said, oh, these are the colors I want to bring back. So I colored the cinema into various different colors and made it very happy, vibrant. And I was just very fortunate that, and showed only Hollywood films at that time, because in Delhi had about 93 cinemas, and everybody was showing Hindi only. And also only 3 cinemas were showing Hollywood. And Hollywood had a big backlog of movies, because if movies used to do well, they used to run for 25 weeks. So at that time, Pretty Woman, for example, was running for 25 weeks in Chanakya. I don't know whether you're familiar with Delhi.
Of course, I am from Delhi.
You're from Delhi.
You changed our lives with the Saket PVR.
So Chanakya, Priya and Archana were the only cinemas in South Delhi.
Of course.
And Archana had converted into
Studios. Yes.
So therefore, only Chanakya and Priya were left. So when I came to Bombay and met all these guys, Warner Brothers, 20th Century Fox, Columbia TriStar, they were really excited that one more cinema, they used to call it house, one more house which will show English films is going to open in Delhi. So I said, wow, this is brilliant. So they gave me all the movies, and I was happy that the cinema was colorful, and the movies also were like differentiated from all the rest of the cinemas. And also Dolby. I was also influenced by Sterling. Because Sterling was the only cinema in the country at that time.
With Dolby.
With Dolby.
Yeah.
So I met Jal Tata, I was like 23 or something, I think, at that time. And he said that agar cinema, you have to do a good job if you want to play Hollywood movies, because most of the Hollywood movies are now getting encoded with Dolby sound, not Hindi films. So if you put Dolby, the sound will be just phenomenal, and you'll get a USP. So then again, the studio said, if you put Dolby, we'll give you more movies. And I got very excited. And that's how the experiment sort of worked. And obviously for me, it was a big thing, because Dad was happy, Mom was happy, I was happy that I did a little experiment and it worked. And from there, I then got excited that I want to focus more on the experience rather than the movie itself. So I must say that amongst all the 5 family members, I'm the least in terms of movie crazy. I'm still very much into experience. I really enjoy what the environment is, because I don't have any control over the content. But what I like is that when the content is over and people really like the movie, they still keep sitting. And then they start noticing, oh, the walls, the carpet.
It takes so much time to finish.
So that's how, that's been my journey. And then that's it. If you hit upon something that you enjoy, then you want to do more of it. And that's so the next journey from a single screen was multiplexes, and India didn't have multiplexes, so that's how the journey started. And one thing led to another.
I must say that you've just changed the way India watches movies.
No, I was just fortunate to be at the right time at the right place.
But since you are about experience, but people like us go primarily for the movie and of course the popcorn. But you know what I want to talk about is, since COVID, you've seen a sort of drought in terms of content. And I believe in the past, in the 90s, 2000s also, you've had very long patches where content hasn't been that great. Sure enough, last quarter, you've had Sayara, you've had a lot of, big blockbuster Hollywood movies as well come by. Well, when do you think this dry patch is going to end? Is content visibility really looking that strong? That are we going to be back to those pre-COVID thronging days where people went for every movie that came out?
Definitely. I mean, I think those peaks and valleys in the content pipeline, first of all, they were all explainable reasons. Shootings had stopped. Hollywood had a big strike. Hollywood also, studios also opened their own streaming platforms. So their attention got divided between what should come on the big screen and what should be made for their streaming platforms. So all that is behind us now. And I think water has found its level. So therefore, in any discussion that I have, it's not an either or discussion about, cinemas and OTT. Both have always coexisted. Home entertainment has in fact changed its avatar every 5 years. It was color TV. First it was TV, then color TV, then VHS, DVDs, LDs, satellite, and now it's OTT. So home entertainment, but cinemas have always stood that. So in fact, if anything is disrupted, it's disrupted on the home entertainment side, not on the cinema side, because cinema has remained where it is. So all that is behind us now, and people want to go out. They want to watch movies on the big screen. Hollywood has come back with a bang. with all these movies. So I think that drought and whatever period that you're talking about, I think is behind us now. I'm not saying it because I'm a listed company and I want to give hope to everybody, but it's very visible, the quantity of movies which is coming, the quality of movies. Now, quality is always a subjective issue, but that's the beauty of India. There's such a disparate market. We may say X movie didn't connect with me, but India is such a big country with so much population that another generation of people will say, oh, I love this movie. So we are okay because we only need X number of people to come to the cinemas. If they resonate with that movie, that's good enough for us. We don't have to do an interview with every single person that did you like the movie or not. So I think like this movie just now that came, Sayara, has really resonated. It's the #1 film of this year so far. Another film, Mahavir.
Mahavatar Narasimha.
Mahavatar Narasimha. The producer will be very unhappy with me.
They are the content kings.
That's done so well. Nobody knew it will do so well. F1. And somebody made a comment the other day, India's mad about cricket. And yet on Formula 1, a film has done over 100 crores. The other thing that I like about F1 is that Apple, which has got their own streaming platform, has made a movie for the big screen. And even Amazon, look at them. They picked up MGM some time ago. They're talking about rebooting James Bond for the big screen as well. So all these entities which have their own streaming platforms also believe that the real magic happens on the big screen, and theatrical experience cannot be replicated. And you need to make the movies for theatrical releases, and then they can have their journey onto the other platforms. So I think all that is behind us now. This year onwards, I think the content quality, variety is just brilliant.
Niharika, do you sense a change in content, that content in cinema now, I mean Bollywood mostly, is now sort of tweaking its line to appeal to the current generation? Case in point being Sayara. Two unknown actors, debut movie of theirs, and then look what it's done.
Yeah, I mean, I think, it's, I mean, firstly, Sayara, it's an outstanding film. Like, I think personally, like all of us, everybody we know has loved it. So it's definitely a film that's resonated with the younger generation. But it also is a timeless genre. It's a love story, with epic love songs. That's something, and that genre itself is something we know clicks in India very well. So I don't think it's necessarily, I think it's not that people are rediscovering the kind of content to make. I'm just happy that now filmmakers are exploring a diverse variety of films. I think that is something that's very important, because a cinema is a place where multiple audiences can come. And as Papa rightly mentioned, that India is a place of multiple audiences, like across demographics, across regions, etc. So as long as filmmakers are making movies for everyone, may it be for the younger generation, or may it be for families, may it be for that person who wants an action-packed film, may it be for the audience who wants a horror film, I think then we're really hitting home. And I think this year we have seen that, because if you see the trend this year itself, like you've had a Chhava that's done well. You've had a Tourist Family, a small film out of, from Tamil cinema that has just, done wildly well. You have Mahavatar Narasimha, an animation. Historically, people wrote off animation in India, and it's going to cross 100 crores. You've had a film like Sayara. You've had a lot of Hollywood successes. So I think it's just making diverse films for everyone. If that means making films for the younger generation, or recreating or retemplating timeless classics, or making that blockbuster, I think the movies just need to be a place for everyone.
Nayana, what's the content pipeline like? What do you hear from Papa? What's releasing next? Any blockbusters on the anvil?
I mean, currently we have, War 2 and Coolie that just released as well. And next week we have some PVR Inox Pictures films releasing. So you have Relay and Afterburn. So we have a very healthy lineup, as has been said. Baghi War is coming out in September. You have Conjuring as well, so on the Hollywood horror genre, we have a lot coming. Saw is also coming in September. So I think, as Niharika said, as Dad said as well, there's a healthy lineup coming up, and then there's a audience for each specific film as well. It's about the community, so you don't really realize, but through PVR Inox Pictures, we've discovered these tastes are kind of unpredictable. So, for example, we've released many anime titles. We didn't realize what the fandom was in India. It's such a diverse country.
It's a cult.
It's really a cult.
It is.
So
It's
people
a hidden
showed up.
cult.
Indians had learned, Japanese when we were doing fan screenings. So there's truly a community for every film. And I think through the distribution subsidiary, we've it's allowed us to discover these tastes and allowed us to discover these communities. So as Niharika said, there's diverse films, but there's also diverse audiences that find these films. And I think we have to continue having faith in that.
I think, Mr. Bijli, now it's not about that one Sholay which the whole country watches, but because the country and the demographics are so different in every state and, within that in pretty much every nook and cranny, I think it's about the various Indias that the cinema industry has to please, right?
Correct. Yeah. I mean, everything, like if you talk to, I remember Rajamouli, when I met him during RRR, and he was very clear that I'm making it for the entire country. So I think those movies are also important. Like Coolie is probably for the entire country. So I think you need those big tentpole blockbusters also, which cut across entire demographics. And then you also have to be smart enough to say that I'm making this movie for this particular audience, and therefore working backwards, that's a budget I'll keep. I will not make a movie which is very expensive because I'm making a niche movie for a certain urban audience. And like Sitare Zameen Par, Amir is one of my closest friends. He's very clear about, I'm making this movie, and therefore this only can release in, like we distributed Sitare Zameen Par. It didn't play in 5,000 screens across the country. I'm not talking about our screens, but overall when we distribute, then we look at obviously screens beyond PVR. I think it released about 1,300 or 1,200 screens. But he was very clear that it's a movie for a certain type of audience. So I think you need all sorts, and therefore you work backwards towards the budget, how much you should spend on marketing, how many screens, how many shows. And the movie ended up doing about 275 crore, which is not, it's a great number for the type of movie it was. So I think you need all sorts of films. We were watching on, I'd seen it earlier, but I saw it again with Naina the other day, Sam Bahadur. Again, I like the way Meghna Gulzar makes her movies. Again, brilliant film, 12th Fail. Again, not made necessarily for everybody, but yet made very well, very tight budget. Ended up doing close to 80-90 crores, I think. So, all sorts of movies need to be made.
Oh yeah, absolutely. The other thing I also wanted to talk about, Mr. Bijli, is where do you see technology headed? Because like you said, everyone will watch movies, everyone loves movies, it's not going anywhere. But the medium and the form and the technology in which you view your movies is now perhaps changing every hour. Where do you see the technology of movie viewing headed next?
Well, we need to be on our toes because unless we make the cinemas more and more experiential, people will not come. So I think luckily everybody is working towards improving all the things that go into building a cinema. So the projection technology has improved from reels to 4K projectors, laser projectors. So IMAXs of the world, Christie's of the world, Barcos of the world, they're all trying to make sure that the quality that you see on the screen is really fantastic. People like Samsung are making, instead of having screens now, we're looking at LED screens. That's where the technology is moving. Sound, with 4DX and Dolby, in fact, has come out with their own format of Dolby Cinemas now, which is not just on sound, it's on projection as well. So luckily, all these people around us, seats are improving. We have a cinema called ICE, we have ScreenX. So when we go to these expos, we see that everybody is relentlessly working towards how do we make this experience of the black box where people go and watch movies even better and better. So I think we can't just say that, oh, people are going to come out. Doesn't matter what we build, not at all. That Field of Dreams dialogue, if you build them, they will come. No, you build them well. Build them really well.
Build it for them.
Build for them. Keep improving because so much improvement is happening on home entertainment, on your gadgets. So we can't be sitting on our laurels at all. Every single aspect. My son and their brother Amir is not here. And so new cinema we're opening in Bangalore. Millennium, in Mahindra Millennium. We're doing dining seating there. And there's a semicircular sort of a format. You can eat and you can watch the movie. It's very different to In fact, there we have LED screens because otherwise the projection system can, hamper what's coming on the screen. So there you can walk in front also, and no problem will happen.
So it's like you're sitting at home literally.
Yeah, literally and watching. And so a lot of stuff is happening. Cinemas are getting multi-formatted. You can have green rooms. You can have like alternate programming, which both Naina and Niharika are also involved in. Talk shows you can have live events. So you have to keep on doing something all the time. You have to be on your toes. You can't rest on your laurels at all.
Any thoughts, Niharika? Where would you want technology to head? Is it eventually going to be in your dining room with your family, moving around, not being asked to shh or sit down, I can't watch the screen kind of days?
Yeah, no, I mean, I think like Papa mentioned earlier, home entertainment I think has really evolved. I mean, we've seen that evolution even like before our time, and we're seeing it now. So I think that face of it keeps changing. So that in a way is technology of viewing changing right in front of your eyes. But that being said, like while it is changing, I think, people still, especially in India, we are, creatures of community. Yeah. We crave experience with each other, which again, sorry, I'm on repeat mode of Sayara, but even when you watch a film like that,
I better watch it now. That's
too much pressure.
Yeah.
Or if you watch a film like F1, or if you watch a film like Sayara, even frankly like a Sitare Zameen Par, you are reminded of what it means to watch a movie with other people. Like even if you've gone with one person, or you've gone in a family, or frankly even if you've gone alone, like your moments of like responding to emotion, whether it's a laughter or a cry, which, and there was a lot of crying in the summer, but you feel those moments of togetherness. So I don't think that experience is possible to ape anywhere else, because even in the comfort of your living room, there is distraction. There is, there's a phone ringing, there's somebody coming, etc. So I think that that black box feeling of being sucked into a movie uninterrupted, while being around people who are sharing that moment with you. I think the cinema is the only place you get that. And like Papa said, all we can do is right now, of course, we are creating different, variations, because we do have to be on our toes. But I think as long as we're focused on making that experience absolutely focused, so that it is the customer and the film, I think then that's the key. That remains the key for that experience.
But Mr. Bijli, technology comes with a lot of capex costs, and while people want this experience, they don't want to pay top dollar either for a movie. I mean, not all of India. So how do you sort of balance it all?
You have to make sure, horses for courses, you have to make sure where you're using the technology. So everybody's aspirational. So if we open recently we opened in Raipur, we opened in Jabalpur, we opened in, so you have to make sure that your capex over there is according to the ticket price that people can afford. But there again, you can't compromise on the quality of the experience. So I think that's a big challenge that, but if you like, for example, in Geo World Drive or in Delhi in Vasant Kunj, for example, if you don't have Atmos sound, if you don't have an IMAX cinema, if you don't have, then that aspirational customer will say, I'm not going to come here, I'd rather watch it at home. So you have to just make sure that you make it experiential, but depending on where you are, because we have experiences from 1,500 rupees a ticket to 100 rupees a ticket. So you have to, that's the beauty of, having, a circuit in India. It challenges you that how do you then spend. So as low as 2 crores a screen, for example, is our cost in smaller towns, but as high as 5 crores a screen will be in a metro. Like Mall of India Director's Cut, we've just opened in Noida. That costs us about 5 crores a screen. But people are willing to pay 1,200, 1,300 and enjoying that experience. So I think you have to just figure out where you're making the cinema, what is their aspiration, and just give that much only. If you get too much, then people say, listen, I didn't want you to have a marble flooring because I'm not going to. So we try to tweak the brand depending upon where we are, but try not to compromise on where they're going to be spending 3 hours. I think their legroom, seat width, those are like completely something which are non-compromisable, and also the infrastructure cost, which is something people don't see. firefighting systems, smoke detectors, all that sort of stuff is also very important. Soundproofing, so the sound doesn't leak. So people don't realize there's a lot of money that gets spent, which people don't see, because that's very critical. You have to also comply with the cinematograph and national building bylaws and stuff like that. So a lot of money goes into that as well, which you can't help. But luckily, people are ready to pay a little extra if the product offering is good and it's different from watching movies in any other cinema.
But do you foresee PVR Inox now consolidating further? Is margin expansion the key right now? The loss-making units or the units which are not doing all that well, do you continue to shut down screens?
Absolutely. You see, it's part of any retailer's strategy. We are a retail format. Look, we've been in existence since 1997 now. So it's been a long time. And some of the stores have become, I'm calling them stores, have become outdated. Some of the malls are also not in a good...
That, yes.
Yeah, I mean, certain malls cinemas that we closed in the last 2 years, the escalators were not working, the lifts were not working, the whole mall had become like a ghost town. There were no shops there. So we had to close down. So I think it's very much... And then in the same vicinity, we've opened new cinemas in new malls. So I think to improve our margins, all loss-making stores which are just not revivable have to be shut. We have to control our costs dramatically, which we've done. We've been very fortunate that we've gone back to landlords and spoken then to rejig the rentals contracts as well, given the fact that pre-COVID occupancy levels are not there. So we are saying that we're going to get the same margin. That's what the company is focused on now. We're going to get the same margins that we were getting pre-COVID, but with lesser occupancy as well now, by re-looking at all our costs line by line, utilities, which is electricity, manpower cost, marketing expenditure. All our marketing is now below the line on social media, and rather than just having big ads that we used to do earlier. So being very focused on our costs and trying to get the same margins as we were getting earlier. And we're getting there. We're getting there.
So what's the store edition count for the next 2 years?
Nayana, would you like to answer that?
Yeah, I mean, we envision a 100-screen opening in the next year. And where, I don't know if you're aware of our different models. So we have the FOCO model, we have a capital light model as well. So we're experiencing different models of growth just to ensure that when we do open, we're very careful about how we're growing, where we're growing. And as post-pandemic has been a particularly careful time in terms of cost. So we're just ensuring that our growth is measured. We're going in the right places. And so as you know, 50% is in metros in terms of our concentration, but beyond that, we are also looking at tier 2, tier 3 expansion. So in terms of the 100-screen growth, 44% will be in the south, followed by north at 22%. Then central, then east. But again, it's very measured, very calculated. We want to ensure we're not entering spaces that are already concentrated, like Gurgaon and Noida. If you go every 100 meters, you see...
Every mall has a screen,
you see a PVR Inox. So growth will be measured and also very intentional.
So, but Nayana, what about censorship? Do you think that will always be a niggling factor in how content gets created? Because the rules aren't as stringent for OTT or other web platforms.
Right. I think, firstly, that's a very good question. I think as a country, we have to be very cognizant of how people are consuming content. We have so many different channels of consumption. So you're at home watching, you're not regulated. You're on your phone watching, you're not regulated. But the minute you step out, you're regulated. But I think as a filmmaker, you have to be aware, as the entities, the powers that be, you have to be aware that there are multiple channels of consumption. And so one way or another, where we're sort of unrestricted in the way we consume content. And I'm hopeful and also I'm hopeful that one day that finds its way to communal consumption as well, just because access to content is so easy. So we just have to be wary of that. But yeah, Niharika, would you like to add anything to that?
Why just cinemas, Niharika? Why just?
No, I think as you know, as Naina said, as the cinema community, as the exhibition community, of course, we also have a certain responsibility. So there is a reason that you have certain films that are PG-13, PG, or like R-rated, etc. So I think that is where it does make sense, and we have that responsibility to make sure that people, that we're strict about the age groups that actually enter there. Of course, there is a lot of conversation, I think, right now beyond this forum. If there are certain leeways that are allowed on OTT, or there's certain leeways, as Naina mentioned, on a YouTube, etc. Should considering all of that, should we also allow our filmmakers who are releasing in the theatre to have that similar liberty to perhaps say a little bit more? So it's definitely a much bigger conversation, but I hope we can get there. So at least in all the spaces we are consuming, there is some level of cohesiveness, and and everybody's allowed to tell their stories in the same way.
Ms. Bijli, what role do you see them taking over in the next 2 years? They're ready.
Yeah. Well, as I said, the common thread that connects Niharika, Naina, and Amir is their love for movies. And I think currently, like you said, when are our margins going to expand after the merger? When are we going to be really able to untap the potential of what, with the grace of God, has been created? 180 million people were coming to the cinemas prior to our cinemas, prior to COVID. So I think what I've, when we have our family meetings in the office and at home, I'm just saying, let's roll up our sleeves and try to create value. Because we're a listed company, we need to create shareholder value. It doesn't matter what our titles are, it doesn't matter what our remuneration is. We all have to see what can I do which is value accretive. So I think we have to get out of that post-COVID problem that the company was facing, and find your own roles. So in fact, I don't even discuss it. I let them, all three of them, sit in a room and say, okay, marketing needs to be looked at, programming needs to be looked at, PVR Pictures needs to be looked at, which is the design of cinemas, innovation. Our entire bulk of our customers are 1, 2, 3, 4, 12 to 34. And I'm not 34. I'm 58. Most of the guys in the office are above 50. That's the young generation. They understand what the consumer wants. So all the marketing strategies, design, everything, as long as you're not stepping on each other's toes and finding roles for yourself, do what you feel like. F&B, packaging, what should be sold, at what price point it should be so the only one objective, create shareholder value. Because that wealth will make the all the people who look at it, we are like so widely held. Between me and our family and Jain family, we only own 26% of the company. 74% is held. So we have a huge responsibility to tell people that this was a very successful merger, and it's a successful company, successful business. It is not easy to build 1,800 screens in 360 different locations in 111 cities. But we are fortunate that we're in a country where which is volume driven. 1,100 to 1,200 films get released every single year. People are mad about movies. Every single ad that you see has got an actor endorsing it. Even cricket matches, everywhere there are everywhere. There's the whole country is very, very ardent fan of movies and
cricketers have
movie
married
makers.
Bollywood stars.
That's right. So therefore, why can't we be double, triple the size of where we are currently in terms of? So I think that's the objective. Roll up our sleeves, create value. Every single minute that you spend should be, is it value accretive or not? And so that's how the roles have been defined. There's no specific designation, there's no specific role as such that I've requested them all to have.
But you must be so proud of
I
them,
am,
right?
absolutely. That's what I said.
It's the first time three of you have come on the same platform, and I'm like, oh my God, they're trained.
And I'm missing my son as well.
I wish he could make it.
So he's also very determined, like Naina and Niharika are. And people are, but PVR is your baby. I said, no, PVR is not my baby. These are my babies. PVR is a brand that I was fortunate that it got created but the love that I have for my kids is completely different to the love that I have. PVR is definitely a very important thing to me, very emotional about it, but through them, we have to now take it to another level.
And the babies have done fabulous, haven't they?
We had a good teacher.
But, Mr. Bijli, if some youngster out there wants to say, you know what, I want to create a PVR in India, how do they do it? What's the crack code?
Basically, I think India is very underscreened. I'm giving an opportunity to create competition now. But I think everybody has an opportunity to do whatever we were able to do. It's as I said, we are in a very unique market, which is the reason why we've never ventured out of India, because only Sri Lanka was an extension of our south expansion that happened. But other than that, it's a very unique country, unique market where so many movies are coming. I'll digress a little bit. If you look at all markets like UK, US, Australia, New Zealand, Japan has got anime, China's got its own market. They're all very Hollywood dependent. India, only 10 to 12% of the films are Hollywood. The rest is all Indian films. So I think we have a unique situation when it comes to supply side, in terms of quantity, variety. We also have a unique situation when it comes to consumption. Despite having the lowest screen count in the world per million, we still were selling 1.2 billion tickets a year. So in this environment, I think anybody who has a thought on how they can create a cinema which meets the diverse needs of the heterogeneous market that we have got can do it. But you need to be just sensible about it. You can't just get carried away with a lot of people have done that. You can't get carried away, oh, I can build it and people will come. You just have to be focused on the basics of any business, like you said, capex, opex, ROI, ROCE, all those things.
Everything comes in.
Beyond a point, it can't be passion. You have a responsibility to the shareholders, to the stakeholders, that wherever, even 1 rupee that you're investing, it has a return. So that can't be blindly done. And that's the question that you asked earlier, that what capex? Because people are not going to appreciate if you blindly spend money. It has to be spent and people say, oh yeah, I really like this. I'm ready to pay 200 rupees for this. Or oh, that's a recliner and I've got popcorn here, I've got a menu, I've got a light, everything, and this guy's coming and serving me. I'm ready to pay 1200 rupees for this. So you have to make that whatever offer that you do, people don't feel that, I'm not getting my money's worth.
So now we're going to play a rapid fire round. I don't have a coffee hamper, but you know the rules, right? Rapid and full of fire. Okay, so anyone can answer this. What's the favorite movie of all time of the Bijli family?
I would say Bahubali 2.
Yeah, Bahubali would win for me as well, for sure. So the last film that you all watched together?
Amin and I watched Sayara together.
We watched Sayara and we watched F1 together.
Yeah, that's great. Okay, so who's the biggest movie buff in the entire family?
I don't think it's all of us collectively.
We
all win the hamper for that one.
Diplomatic answer. Okay, so who finishes the popcorn first?
I think Amish.
And my wife Selena.
Okay, and who is most likely to arrive after the trailers have finished?
Oh, Mama.
When watching a movie?
Your mother.
Yeah.
Okay. Who's the most likely to cry during a movie?
Oh, me.
Niharika.
For sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Most over-quoted movie dialogue in your family?
Picture abhi baki hai.
Yes.
Okay. If your life was a genre, which genre would the movie be?
Drama.
Drama?
Dramedy.
Yeah.
Dramedy.
There has to be some comedy.
Yeah, definitely.
Describe your family in one movie title.
Hum saath saath hai.
Now, Mr. Bijli, this is for you. What would your biopic be called and which actor would you see yourself play?
Behind the scenes should be the biopic.
Title. Niharika, any suggestions?
I don't know.
So, Ajay, if you could open a brand new multiplex anywhere in the world, what location would it be?
I'm actually very fond of Bangalore. Yeah, because I think I like the fact that they consume all movies.
Naina, your favorite movie outside of the Indian film industry?
Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the
Fellowship of the Ring. Yeah, that was very easy for me.
Niharika, if you could call any studio in the world right now and get instant rights to one film for PVR Inox, which film would you choose?
Maybe a film like Interstellar. I think that father-daughter story in an epic background is something that hasn't been done in India yet.
Niharika, an Indian classic film you think should be re-released in cinemas?
Maybe Mughal-e-Azam or Parkiza. I think these will be very good films to see. Yeah, I think these will be very, very good films to see. And I think Parkiza, when it came out, it was outstanding in its grandeur and color. But to see it now would be, I think, quite something as well.
So the family loves movies, clearly, huh?
Yes. I think we're in the right business. Yeah.
It's in the DNA. Brilliant. I feel this conversation can just go on and on, but thank you, three of you, for taking the time out and joining us. It was the first of a kind, but I can already see that I'm going to be chatting a lot more with Niharika and Naina in the future.
I should be taken out of the equation, otherwise I keep talking too much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
No, really. Thank you so
Thank you
much.
for having
Thanks
us.
a lot.
Thank
Yeah,
you for
thank
having
you.
us.